Hello and welcome to your Newsmax Now update. I'm John Bachman. We begin in Egypt, where the interim government's vice president, Mohamed El-Baradei, says he is resigning in protest after a day of deadly clashes between police and protesters. Earlier today, Egyptian police pushed into camps where Morsi supporters were holed up with bulldozers and armed vehicles firing tear gas to disperse the crowd. Morsi supporters claim police opened fire with live ammunition on protesters in Cairo. The situation quickly spiraled out of control with live gunfire crackling through the air. The death toll is now believed to be at more than 140 people. Here's a first-hand account from a CBS News producer who was inside a Cairo hospital.
The floors and the walls of the field hospital are slick with blood, and the sound of automatic gunfire is unrelenting. As government snipers fire at the only entrance still open, there's a constant stream of dead and wounded coming out, mostly from live ammunition. The youngest I saw was a boy no older than 13 years old.
And within hours of the crackdown, security forces managed to disperse one sit-in outside of Cairo University, but there is also a second, much larger camp on the other side of Cairo that could result in even more severe violence. Tens of thousands of Morsi supporters have been camped out there for over a month, and despite repeated warnings from the military-backed government that they should leave. Meanwhile, not too far away, Israel and Palestinian negotiators are meeting today in Jerusalem for the first face-to-face peace talks in 3 years. Tuesday, Israel released 26 Palestinian prisoners as part of a precondition for the talks. The inmates were jailed on charges ranging from throwing rocks to carrying out bombings which killed civilians. The families of those killed tried to block the release of the inmates, but Israel's Supreme Court rejected their appeal. And in Louisiana, a deadly end to an overnight standoff at a bank. Police say a mentally unstable man took 3 people hostage, shot 2 of them in the small town of St. Joseph, Louisiana. Police identified the shooter as 20-year-old Fouad Abdou Ahmed. The hostage negotiations dragged on for nearly 12 hours. One female hostage was released during the standoff, but 2 others were shot by the gunman. Police say they had no choice but to move in, and when they did, the gunman, Ahmed, was killed by officers. And the federal government and 6 states have now sued to block the latest proposed merger in the airline industry. But analysts say for many travelers, that's too little too late. Yesterday, the Department of Justice grounded the $11 billion deal between American Airlines and U.S. Airways. The government says the merger could cost consumers hundreds of millions of dollars a year in higher fares and extra fees. And next up on your Newsmax Now update, a fiery cargo plane crash kills 2. An update from the NTSB on the investigation into what went wrong. Plus, following a new report that hundreds of U.S. missiles were stolen in Libya, reaction from Alan West during a Newsmax exclusive interview. Next.
If you or someone you love is struggling with addiction to alcohol or drugs, then you must listen to this message, because there is hope. No matter what addiction you or your loved one is coping with, you are just one phone call away from real help. Recovery Hotline makes the healing process simple and affordable by matching people to fully certified and experienced inpatient facilities that are right for their personal situations. Call 800-668-1286 now. Don't wait another day. Money does not have to be an issue. Most insurance is accepted. Just call 800-668-1286 today. Recovery Hotline's mission is to help you or someone you love begin the healing process and get back a healthy and sober life. And we can even help with family interventions and travel arrangements. One phone call is all it takes to get back the life you or your loved one deserves. The call is free. The help is real. Call 800-668-1286. That's 800-668-1286. 800-668-1286. Again, 800-668-1286.
If you're a baby boomer or senior, please listen closely to this important message. Politicians in Washington are quietly plotting to decrease your Social Security payments drastically, and they want to do it soon. In fact, despite rising prices at the gas pump, grocery store, and doctor's office, retirees have received a mere 1.3% annual increase to their Social Security checks. Meanwhile, food stamp recipients have seen their payouts increase over 30% under the Obama administration. That's shocking. So when we stumbled upon a weird trick that could add up to $1,000 to your monthly Social Security checks, we knew we had to share it with you. To get started, simply go to SocialSecurityFree.com. Yes, it's true. You can take simple steps that could add up to $1,000 to your monthly Social Security payouts. Newsmax says SocialSecurityFree.com is a critical resource for anyone over 50. Go to SocialSecurityFree.com. Attention seniors and baby boomers. A new website has been created just for you. SocialSecurityFree.com. At SocialSecurityFree.com, we reveal a weird trick that could help you add $152,000 to your Social Security payouts. For example, did you know how you file for Social Security can dramatically change the amount of money you collect? One simple step could add up to $1,000 to your monthly payouts. And other loopholes we found reveal 33 ways for big savings on your health care. At SocialSecurityFree.com, you will also discover how you could save up to 50% on your groceries, along with 49 other ways to save as much as $50,000 starting today. Newsmax says SocialSecurityFree.com is a critical resource for anyone over the age of 50. So go to SocialSecurityFree.com now to find out how you could add extra money to your Social Security checks. That's SocialSecurityFree.com.
And welcome back. A UPS cargo jet crashed while it was trying to land in Birmingham, Alabama. Flames burned through a large section of twisted metal. Not far from that burning wreckage, firefighters located the front of the plane, and inside, both the pilot and co-pilot were found dead. The plane originated in Louisville, Kentucky, and was attempting to land before dawn. The NTSB has investigators on the ground now trying to determine what led to the crash. And during a Newsmax exclusive with former Congressman and Army Lieutenant Colonel Alan West, we talk about a new report that shows 400 surface-to-air missiles were stolen in Libya and what that could mean for the rest of the Middle East.
I view this as a very serious threat to the region, and our ally in Israel has to be very concerned.
And to see more of our exclusive interviews and content, stay with Newsmax.com. This has been your Newsmax Now update for August 14th. I'm John Bachman. Now here's the Steve Malzberg Show in New York.